this is a big one, and I've asked a project executive that I respected a lot what the answer to this one is, but I'm going to ask you. When you think about the real objective of a project manager, going back to that loop, what is their actual mission, so that we can bring it home for the listeners?
Okay, so the actual mission is
Yeah.
I'd go back to the book by Patrick Lencioni, Five Dysfunctions of a Team, and a quote in there that says, if you could get all of the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, under any conditions, at any time. If you could get everyone, the PM's job is to get everyone headed in the same direction. If he could do that, you'll build any project under any circumstances, ever gets thrown at you at any time. That's my opinion. In my opinion, that is his number one job.
I love that, and kudos to you for pronouncing his name right. I always get that wrong.
I take a lot of practice to get that right, especially for an
Yeah,
Aussie.
because welcome everybody out to another episode with Beanie and Jason Schroeder. We're gonna Adam Bean or Beanie, hailing from it's from Australia, but it's from what's the coast? I just forgot it. The
Sunshine Coast, mate. Remember the sun.
Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast.
Damn it! I
Yeah.
had that. I was so proud of remembering that, and then I just completely missed it. Anyway, and Jason Schroeder from Phoenix, Arizona. Our topic today is the skills of team members. And if you're interested in that, please stay along with us because we're going to have some fun today. So, Beanie, how are you doing for all the people out there listening? How's everything going for you?
Yeah, mate, doing well. Obviously, the year's slipping away very quickly. I mean, well, we got 2 or 3 days left for Q1. It's gone. It feels like we're only having Christmas dinner just about a week or so ago, and we're already a quarter of the way through the year. But yeah, things are going well.
That's awesome. Things are going well over here too. It is super funny that you mentioned that because I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. We did two big boot camps already this year, and it's like, woo, time flies. And then
Yeah.
we're not getting any younger, so it's like the time is every minute is precious, right? So
It
it's tough that it's
certainly
going
is,
so
mate.
fast.
Yeah, it
especially
certainly is.
especially now especially now we know so much, and very few and the fewer people want to know what we have to say. It's like it's like with the kids, I'm like, I finally got it figured out. Dad,
Yeah,
I don't I know I'll figure it out myself. And it's like, oh, I got all this wisdom, where do I put it anyway?
yeah.
But I'm glad you're doing well. Are you excited about this topic?
I am, mate. This is, to me, as you know, we've done a podcast before on eighth waste, which is wasted potential. A lot of people talk in lean terms to overproduction being the mother of all waste. I believe that it's wasting people's potential that's a mother of all waste, and this is where we get it wrong. So yeah,
That's an
keen,
interesting
keen to
point.
talk to this one.
Well, if you want to get us kicked off, I don't want to get ahead of it. The only thing I probably wanted to say was, the more I think about it, I think all root causes for, well, let me not say all, because we're talking about 12 of them, but a lot of the root cause of our problems is just comes back to education, education, education. Like,
Yep.
um, making sure that we're upskilled. And it's funny. I'll say this and then kick it over to you. But like, even when you're dealing with computers, technology, AI, or people, it all comes down to having that right base, the right information. Anyway, so
Yep.
I'm keen on this one as well. So let's kick it off. What are your thoughts as we kick this off?
Mate, if we look at it from what we're talking the theory of constraint, right? The 12 causes of project failure. So we look at it from the way that Dr. Eli Goldratt looked at it. And he's got it, there's a quote, don't get, hang me if I get it's not exactly right, but it's something along the lines of measure me in a logical way and don't be surprised when I behave illogically.
Uh,
So we tend to group people into A, B, and C players, which is an illogical way to measure people. A lot of what we call an A player is, and this is, I'm talking the process here, not about the people, okay? We've created this, is people run around creating a lot of noise and
Yep.
a lot of waste. They're highly efficient and productive at creating waste because we've celebrated that constant busyness over where we're actually making progress. So, to me, to start with, when we're talking skills of team members, and obviously what we do is immediately is then rank them. The way we're ranking them is completely wrong. We need to be looking
Oh,
at a different skill set, which is something that Liz Wiseman calls impact players.
okay.
Not just where does this person sit right now, where can this person go to? I've seen you speak to a few times a young lad that you said it was running. I think we call him an alley mac over here. I think you called it a lift or something like that. That he started on a construction job and you just used to speak to him as you were going to the different levels, and now he's an engineer or PM or running jobs or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
because he's at this level at the moment doesn't mean he can't go up here. All right.
Yeah.
If we looked at it purely from an A, B, and C perspective, early in his career, Tom Brady was a C player. No one wanted him. His arm wasn't strong enough. He wasn't quick enough. He wasn't fit enough. He didn't have the right physique. Yet he did all right.
Yeah. Real quick, do you mind educating me? Why did I keep hearing that about Tom Brady? Why did he do all right? What was his secret, if you don't mind? My mind's gonna get locked up if
Yeah.
I don't get that.
So very process driven, and he kept working
Ah,
on the things that he needed to fix. Right. He just turned up every day, put his reps in. If he was too slow,
oh
he
wow.
worked on running faster. If his arm wasn't good enough, he worked on getting his arm better. He just wouldn't quit. He wouldn't give up. He wouldn't listen to everyone telling him, "You're not going to make it. You're not good enough. You don't have these physical attributes." He just went and trained harder,
Yeah.
worked on the things that he needed to work on to make himself that what we call an impact player.
Oh,
When he
that's
was on
awesome.
the field, everyone that was around him was a better player.
So he was hard on the process, not the person.
Yeah.
Like essentially, like I'm sorry for interrupting you. I feel
No.
badly now, but the like you if you like the thing that's coming to my mind that I can't put into I'm going to try to put it into words is that like if we're relying on people to come and save everything and to be just naturally good at everything, then the only thing you can do is blame people.
Hmm.
But if we are relying on the process and the system and our habits and the things that you're talking about, then we actually have opened up this window of no, we can now be hard on the process and not the people. And that was interesting. I didn't know that about Tom Brady, but I recently watched a movie called Coach Carter. I don't know if you've seen it with Samuel L. Jackson, where
Yep.
he's drilling into him, practice harder. It's the process. It's a process. It's a process, and then they go on to win. So that kind of pulled it all together for me. Anyway, sorry for the
Yep.
interruption. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah. The other thing that Tom Brady did really well is he understood, I know what he understood or where he did it by accident, he understood global optima, right? So when he was at his peak, where he was his real earning years, when he was, went for a long time with Tom Brady, but I've heard that he actually took less money that he could have got to get somewhere else because he knew there was only so much money in the bucket to pay everyone in the team, right? And he still
Yep.
needed, I don't understand all the positions in NFL football, but he needed other good players around him to make him a better player as well. So he was a team player. So he took less money to go because his global optimal was he wanted to win Super Bowls. So instead
Yeah,
of
that is
local
so good.
optimizing, just his salary, he optimized for the global. I want that, not just that, which is what
That's
we get in
awesome.
the projects all the time, right? And this is where this busyness and stuff like that. There's a lot of people they go, oh, this guy gets a lot of stuff done. Yeah, but what cost? What cost to everyone else? What cost to the project does he get his work done?
Yeah, 100%. It was. I don't know anything about soccer, but we work with a lot of folks from Mexico, so Messi and Ronaldo are
Yep.
always being talked about. And I heard this rumor. I was like, somebody said that Messi was a and I'm getting their names wrong. I'm sorry, but that he's a great team player. But Ronaldo is kind of like the superstar, and he's like, they were like, whoa, 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 Jason, like you got to get it right. Messi is the person that sets everybody up to play well. Ronaldo is
Yep.
the person that people kick the ball to. They're both supporting the team, but they're just doing it in their own individual roles. But I was
Yep.
like, and I don't know anything about soccer. Maybe that's all wrong, but the what stood out to me was when they're talking about these two famous soccer players was how, or they call it football in other places, but the how the team component was the component in either style or in either role. So I like that a lot. So in your diagram, the person in red is the
Yep.
person that's busy but not leveraging the team. Is that what you're telling me?
100%, mate. That's
Okay.
they run around a lot. They might get a lot of stuff done individually, local optimised.
Yep.
Camera keeps moving because I keep pointing.
Well, it's actually helping me. But
That's right. So they might get a lot of stuff done themselves.
okay,
But as I say, it's not, but they block and flow, right? They don't
exactly.
care about what everyone else has to get done. They're just local optimized for themselves. But we,
That's
again,
interesting.
talking to the process, not the person, we glorified that. So we're measuring them in a logical way. Oh, this bloke's great, or this lady's great, she gets a lot done. Local optima, not
Ah,
how good is this person as a team player.
meaning that I think I get it now. I'm sorry that it took me so long. Meaning that instead of saying, "Hey, I want one person with a bunch of followers," I want global optimum with everybody having skills in the team where we can all win together as a team.
Yep,
So we're taking it away from individual stardom to team greatness and cohesion. Okay, I get the point. Sorry that took me a little bit, Beanie.
that's all good. That other thing with your A players, a lot of it is why they talk to A player. You just want A players on your team, right? Which is not correct. You go back and look at the Chicago Bulls and stuff like that. Like Dennis Rodman hardly ever scored shot a point, mate. He just used to do all the rebounding, did all the work that no one else wanted to do. So the reason that they just want A players on their team is because they're too lazy to sort the process out. Because
Oh wow.
we just want players that can come in and produce results with no process instead of fixing the problem, which is give everyone a decent process so they can all shine.
And back to the grading, you said A players, B players, C players. That's not the right way to do it. What is the right way? It's not. If I'm hearing you right, it's not grading. It's how well do you fit in your role in your team as a
Yep,
humble, hungry, smart player.
very much so. So you've listened to. I didn't realise until I said about the clip at the start of this book that you're a Patrick Lencioni fan as well. So you would have
Yeah.
heard this, and you'll know this is something like I think he calls it CHS or something like that. One of his books, Playmaker Advantage, or I can't remember the name, but it'll come back to me in a minute. But I've sort of adapted across a few different books. So the All Blacks are the great football team that I talk about, the rugby union all the time. Okay, they got a
Yep.
rule in theirs, which is no dickheads, as in no selfish people in the team. So the
Oh wow.
first thing they need to be humble and coachable. Second thing I stole from Arnold Schwarzenegger is be useful. That comes out of his book that he's just written. Okay, so they're useful. They help everyone else. Third one is they're willing to experiment and improve. And the fourth one comes out of Keith Ferrazzi's book, which is they don't wait for permission. They lead without authority, regardless of what their position on the or role is on the project. If they know something and they know how to lead the way, they'll lead the way with it. When you got those four ability. If I got someone that's doing all four of those things, to me, that's an impact player. Because
Ah,
when
that's
they're
awesome.
out on the job, everyone else around them's going to be better.
I love that. And I was when we started this, I was thinking about W. Edwards Deming said that grading people is the equivalent to destroying them. And so I've gotten to a spot where there's standardized like tests for certain positions and competence. Totally understand that. We grade companies. Like I don't mind giving companies a score, but we don't grade people because then somebody gets told, "Hey, you're a D player or an F player," then that's in your mindset and you just go downhill, right? But
Yep.
this is almost like instead of calling somebody A plus B plus C, and I don't know if you like this or not, but for me, I'm freaking geeking out over here. But it's like a person with potential plus the humble, hungry, smart framework, meaning they're bringing their desire and their aptitude, plus habits,
Hmm.
right? Plus the process is that four part. Man, maybe there's more than the four, but this plus this plus this plus this is an impact player.
Yep.
And it was interesting. Kate and I chose not to have our kids go into public school with the A, B, C, D, E, or F. The charter school that we go to, it's 1 through 4 throughout the year. And all
Yep.
it is have you accomplished? 4 is you've learned the material this year. That's all it is. And let's just say there were 4 things: the person, their aptitude, which is the humble, hungry, smart, um, their habits, and the process that you're talking about. It's literally 1 through 4.
Yep.
Am I a human being? Yes. Do I want to do this as a humble, hungry, smart team player? Yes. Do I
Yep.
have the right habits that I need to get there? And to your point, do I have a process? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You've heard of the Harada method, right? Um,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
from
Yep.
so our folks just got back from Japan. So the Harada method is where you say this is what you want to do, and then you break it up into what is it's 3, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 boxes. I was gonna say, I got confused. It's basically a 9 block, but in the center
Yep.
is your goal. And who's that famous baseball player? The one that makes more than everybody. His name is dang it.
Well,
He's from
you lost
Japan.
me there. Okay. Yeah.
Uh Oh, I'm gonna figure it out in the background. But anyway, he
Yep.
used the Harada method, and he said,
Of
if I want to
fingers.
be
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, he was like, if I want to be the best baseball player, I need to work on how many times I get to base. I need to
Hmm.
work on my hits. I need to dot dot dot. And he's hard on his process, like you're talking about. He's hard
Yep.
on his process. And Kevin told me when we actually landed in Tokyo, he said, dang it, his name is going to freak me out, but he makes like $320 million. He's the highest paid athlete in the world. Um,
Yep.
and it was the Harada method. It was, and here it is, uh, uh, Shohei Otani. It's Otani. He plays for the Dodgers. Anyway, so like it's just all coming together. It's clicking with me. So, is that correct? That you're not grading people, but you're like, hey, I want them to have these components and the process, and that's what will help them be an impact player. Is that what you're saying?
100%. And like,
Okay.
if they don't, if they're weak in an area, are they willing to change it? If they're willing to change it, anyone can upskill in any one of those 4 areas, all right?
Yes.
And be an impact player and have an impact on people around them. Instead of looking for, can we just go and find a Tom Brady to fix all of our problems because we're terrible at, we've got no process, we don't know flow, we don't understand waste, we don't understand lean or anything else. How do we create a process where these people can build these 4 skills that they need?
Yeah.
They
And the
build
bottom,
those 4 skills, then it knocks on to everyone around them, right?
I agree. And I like the four. I like the four that you have there. I was about to ask you the question: how do we help people want to learn more? But really, there's plenty of people out there that do have the aptitude to be useful and experiment and do those things that you're talking about. It's meaning like there might be some folks that are comfortable that may not have the aptitude, but there's plenty of folks out there to build our companies where we
Yep.
can, if we add them to a process or add a process to them, they can be A plus in their outputs.
Yep.
um
Learning
silly
environment.
question. 100%. In Australia, are folks in the United States? I don't sense that we're very hungry right now. There's people that want to work, but not a lot of folks are hungry. Like this is a bad thing to say probably, but you go to Mexico and the people coming out of universities, they're hungry as hell. Like my biggest problem with folks working in Mexico is they're working too hard. I'm like, whoa, calm down. Like you don't have to work
Yep.
that much. In the US, we're a skinchy bit on the ooh, maybe I'm not hungry right now. What's it like in your neck of the woods?
We're probably very much the same as you, mate. That
Okay.
we're not, but we've, again, we've built that into the people where we taught them not to think. You know, a lot of I
Yes.
remember one of the books that you spoke of. I can't remember which one it was. One of the management books that was
Okay.
really really bad. I can't remember. It was a book that you talked about, and it was all about we try to drill into people. Just do what you're told. Just follow the steps. A B
Oh,
C D E.
was it the theory of scientific management? The
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was so mad at that book. Anyway, go
Yep.
ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. And even the
So
school
to your
system, right? Like your kids went to, I think your kids went to Montessori or something like that. That sort of school, is it?
Well, we homeschooled them,
Yeah.
and then it did Montessori type things, but then they're in a charter school now. So
Yep.
like it's very hands on, and they're taught to love learning,
Yep.
not to just pass tests. Yeah, to your point.
100%. Well, that's created a lot of this apathy, right? This just
Yeah.
pass a test and you're an A, B, or a C. Oh, you're only a C. You didn't do any good at school. You're not going to go anywhere in life. So go and work on a factory line, which has created the
Yeah.
apathy. Okay. My kids are the same. My kids didn't go to school. My kids never set foot inside a primary or a high school. They were homeschooled. And they've both been to uni and they're both doing well and they're both doing what they want to actually do. But we
Yeah.
focused
Same here.
on teaching them to learn, not to memorise. Big difference.
Yes.
Teaching
Yes.
them to learn. And that's what we've done. We've taught people to memorise. We've graded them, gone, this is your calling in life. You don't move above this line. You stay here because you didn't get A's and B's. You only got C's and D's.
Yeah.
Like some of the smartest guys I've had work with me on a construction project struggle to fill out, what's the name, superannuation format and stuff like that. Can't read or write or anything else, but got super smart. No stuff, how to build things. They're
Yeah.
not people that what's the name learn from textbooks and all the rest of it. They need to do it with their hands to be able to learn, and that's what we've created this whole culture of apathy through this grading system. That's my belief, anyway.
It's the system that we set up. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because for a minute there, I was getting caught up in the trap of, that it's a hopeless thing for folks that may not have the aptitude. But really, it's just like when the Japanese offered to take over the Georgetown plant with the union workers, and GM was like, "Yeah, you can buy the plant as long as you take over the union workers." And they're laughing, like they're like, "Oh, you don't know what you're up against with these union workers." And the Japanese were like, "No, not a problem." And then the
Yep,
workers, when they were treated properly, like their mindset changed right away.
yep,
So it's not a problem. So it really, for a minute there, the reason I said it, Beanie, is because sometimes I get all victimy because you and I put out lots and lots. Well, I bet you feel it, but you're probably more mature than me. Like you put out lots of content, lots of content, lots of content, and you're hoping it makes an impact. And sometimes it's even an imposition for somebody to even take free content. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm too
yep,
busy, or I need to go do the thing. Why would I learn about doing the thing when I'm doing the thing? But honestly, if we just keep at it, it's going to work. We're going to change the mindsets, and it's going to be fine. So
100%. I feel
yeah,
your pain, man. Sometimes you put a video up and you go back and look at it, and it's like you've done all the prep and you've done the live and all the rest of it, and you go back and you look at the stats, and it's like 3 minutes watch time, and you go, really? I did
yeah,
all that work for that.
exactly. It's like, and the three people that watched it were my mom, my wife. That's funny stuff, man.
But you've got to give
I
it time to
feel
compound.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So I love that. Keep going. Whatever your next point was, because I got a question after that.
I think that's pretty much it, mate. They were the key things that I wanted to get out. Okay, it's that our graded when we're grading players, we're just
Yeah,
driving to local optima. We're taking their autonomy off of them, but
yeah,
they've got no purpose and they've got no drive towards mastering what they're
yeah.
doing. When we get them focused on these things up here, we give them a learning environment, they can do that. We need to get focused on this. Impact players, building these skills. Anyone can build these skills if they've got the right
Yeah.
attitude.
Okay. I'm actually going to make a graphic about this. Wait, can you do one quick QC for me? Your
Yep.
rules are specific, but I'm trying to add up the like 1 through 4. I
Mm-hmm.
said people plus aptitude plus habits plus the processes that they're using. Do you feel like that's a good start to like if I was teaching if I was like, hey, to our company, let's say I share tomorrow in the morning huddle, hey,
Yep.
I learned this cool thing from Beanie. You remember you have yourself, you have your aptitude, but you have to pair that with habits and process if you want to be an impact player. Is there anything you'd modify with that?
Just
With
to
that?
lead
With
without
that?
authority, mate. They don't need authority to do it. Okay.
Okay.
This is another thing where we've graded is where we've got our org charts from the top down.
Yeah.
Like we flip that. So whoever's at the front line, whoever's at the gamba, sits at the top, and
Y-
all the rest of us are a support layer.
Yes. Yes.
So they
You know,
don't need to. We wait too much for authority, for the permission to be able to lead someone else.
that's so that has yeah, I'm so glad I'm so glad you mentioned that because sometimes now that I'm in the executive team in a business as an owner of the business, sometimes people are like I can come off as too much, and I'm trying to tell them like no, no, no. I am practicing knowing when to step back
Hmm.
and be quiet, but wherever I am, even if I'm sweeping a broom, I'm leading. Like I'm not over the group, but I'm going to lead where I am and trying to
Yep.
communicate to folks. No, you don't have to wait for permission. Like lead wherever you. I love that point that you made, and all
Yep.
I'm doing as the COO is still trying to lead and not lead when I'm supposed to. But I'm
Yep.
not going to stop being that person because that's a success formula.
Yep.
So it's really interesting. Anyway, go ahead, and then I
And
got a
so
question for you.
you just said something that was in that Impact Players book that is really relevant. Is our role is to step up, lead the way, and step
Hmm.
back. Let someone else do it.
Ah,
That's what an
step
impact
up and
player
step
does.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's out of Liz Wiseman's book, Impact Players.
I remember reading that. That's a fantastic book. Step up and
It
step
is.
back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Oh, and the other thing is that ties in perfectly. Like, uh, I've been thinking a lot about leadership, and after Japan, it became clear to me that leadership is clarity, training for that clarity, and then support and help for that. Uh, Getting to the clarity. And so the leader might be clear, the leader might provide the training, but when it comes to the support, that support might be explain, demonstrate, guide, enable. Enable is where you're like, nope, I'm going to step back now. They got it.
Hmm.
So those tie in super well, and um, so it's so funny. Like everything ties to everything ties together as we like read book after book after book. It's so funny how they tie together. It's just the patterns are really clear. Um,
Yeah.
the other thing we lead with the reason I think the lead without authority thing was is super good because a lot of the things lately that people have been talking to me about that they're struggling with is Jason, I see these lean images, I see what Beanie's talking about, I see the lean principles, but when I talk to the trades they don't want to do it. And that's where it's like no, 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 we need leadership with the courage to move these things forward in their own way,
Yep.
but we can't let it stagnate. And so, like you adding, yeah, you have a process, but lead. And I love the term coach. Somebody, I was doing a Robbins Madonna's coaching training, and the first thing they said is the term coach, like basketball coach, football coach, whatever. A coach is like the thing behind the horse that moves you forward.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, that's such a cool thing.
Yep.
We leaders move people forward, and that lead without authority thing ties right into it. I just think it's brilliant. I don't know why I said all that, but it bottom line is it makes sense to me. So,
It does. I like that coach analogy. That's fantastic. Yeah. Because that's what we need to do. And it's like
yeah,
we again, leadership. We go, oh, you got to lead from the front. You listen to all the leadership quotes, right? Lead from the front, all this sort of stuff. And it's not always about leading from the front. Yes, there are times when you need to step up and you need to set the standard and go, this is what we have to do and this is where we need to get to. But then you've also got to be, like you just said, behind the coach. Step back.
yeah,
Give them room to
yeah.
move. Give them room to fail. Give them room to prove themselves.
It's almost like, and you've read, I'm sure you have, the Captain class. Um, and if not, it talks about how these dynasties, and you mentioned the Bulls, that
Yep.
actually those dynasties were more driven based off of the team captain than the star players. If you go
Yep.
back and look at Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, you look at any of the dynasties, you can at each one of them had an amazing team captain that was committed to their
Yep.
team. Like they said you in the book, you remember that there was a I hope this isn't inappropriate for your live stream, but they said there
No.
was a there was a I think it was rugby, but it may have been soccer. But anyway, there was a player, they had cleats
Yep.
where the team captain, his scrotum was ripped off by a another player's cleat, and his
Yep.
testicles were hanging down 10 inches on his leg, but he was still playing because he was not going to lose that game. Like that's the tenacity that they had, right? And I couldn't imagine something like that. Like that, I cringe just thinking about it. But
Yeah.
they are so committed to the team, and so what you just said is like the leader, whether they have to step forward or they're stepping back in the moment, the energy is still there. Like you
Hmm.
can tell that leader, there's a driving force in the universe. This team is going to move forward, whether they're directing traffic or somebody else is directing traffic, whether it be by support or leadership. I love this. Sounds arrogant, but anywhere I go, people will feel Jason's energy that we are going to move forward. That sounds
100%.
arrogant, but I didn't know how to say it any other
No,
way.
it's
So
not arrogant at all. That's why you fill workshops, mate. That people are attracted to that energy, right? And this is what I'm saying: lead without authority. And I just interviewed Christian Burkosis yesterday, uh, and it was based off a video that I watched of his, where he said he saw one person in a 250,000 person organisation. Within 8 years, he impacted, or 4 years, I think it was, impacted that whole organisation. He was a junior person, no authority at all,
yeah,
by the way that he showed up and the energy that he showed and the way that he performed his work.
wow, I love that.
So there is no excuse for anyone. It's not like I'm just sweeping the floors. If you're sweeping the floors, do the best job of sweeping the floors that anyone's ever seen. Be more organised than everyone else. Have everyone help create flow and remove waste.
I agree.
Anyone can do those two things.
I agree. Quick question before, I know we're probably at time here, but the what would be your advice for so somebody hearing this? So I post this on my podcast and then our YouTube channel,
Yep.
and these are great. I absolutely love these. If you're talking to an individual, what would be your advice? Um, uh, let me frame it like this, and this I hope this doesn't sound arrogant. Oh no, it doesn't sound. It's not arrogant because I grew up at Hensel Phelps. I keep saying that
Yep.
they're training, 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 training. Like the joke at Hensel Phelps was you work at HP for 5 years, then you get poached by another company, all trained and ready to go, and that's not great. I hope people don't go do that because they said that, but um, it was just training. Learn this, learn this. So like I've said it before, and I cringe when I say it, but I can operate a total station. I can lay out your primary, secondary, and working control. I can work AutoCAD, Revit. I can build your schedule. I can write an RFI, do a submittal. I know about commissioning. I can lead the commissioning effort. I can lead a BIM team. Like skill, 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 skill. Like it was wired into me.
Yep.
And to your point, the system is kind of like that modern society a bit, and I'm not being a victim about it, but the system or the advice is, oh, go finish high school or college, you've earned your way, live your dream job. Don't somewhere in there we forgot to tell people there's 20 years of grinding in there, or like 10 years of, of hard work and learning. And like how what is your advice for somebody who's new in the industry so that they can become this impact player?
Yep.
And the only other thing I wanted to say, and where the I wrote down the darn here we go, and become a team member with those skills. Like what's your call to action? What's your advice?
Watch where your area where you're working with teams have a look at someone that has those 4 attributes, copy them.
Oh wow.
There'll be someone there already that's a good player, that's humble and coachable, useful, helps everyone out, is willing to improve, and they lead without authority. Find that person and copy what they're doing. See what they're doing. Educate yourself every single day. I don't care what it is. Jump on YouTube, watch one of Jason's videos, watch mine, watch a 2-second lean video. Give little incremental things every day. And if you set, I'll make 1% of a 24-hour day, right, is 14.4 minutes. Set yourself a goal to spend 14.4 minutes getting better at that. One of those things. Even just pick one. You'll stand out. Tell you right now.
Yeah.
I can walk around, you'll be the same. You'll be able to walk around a job and spot the things where waste and flow is, okay? Those people that understand that or pick it up like that, they stick out.
It's awesome. I realized, and this will be my closing thought, is like, somebody said, well, no, we were doing a video shoot yesterday, and this I sound like a complete dirtbag, but the guy was, the Ricardo, he works with us. He was helping me that day, and he was like, I love watching you record videos because it's just automatic, and you can do a 30-minute video and not make any mistakes. Like you're just, but that was probably the 5,000th video, and it's the 16th, 100th podcast, and it's all of those things, and this is the key moment that I want to tie it to. Those benefited me more than anyone. I am forced every day to learn a topic when I do a podcast. I am forced every time I do a video to learn a topic. I am forced every time I write a chapter to learn a topic. So to your point, that 1%, I've got 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. I've got at least an hour and a half every day where I'm forced by virtue of my work to learn something. And that compounding interest of mental development, this sounds crappy again, but I could go do anything. And the reason I think the reason it's beneficial is because anybody can go do anything. And, maybe I'll just leave this bit of advice is that if somebody makes their learning a natural part of what they're doing in a day anyway, it could become quite remarkable. Anyway, I love that advice. That answered my question. Any closing comments before we button it up?
2 quick things. In Australia, we've got a saying in construction. It's easy to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. Don't wait for permission to lead. Just do it. And the second one is what you just spoke to right then, which is a quote from Steph Curry, which is, don't practice till you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. And that's exactly what you've done with your podcasting.
Practice, that gave me chills. Practice until you can't get it wrong, until it's muscle. That was that movie Coach Carter. He's like, you will practice this until it is impossible. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And that's what the way Patton was too. He was like, we are going to practice as soldiers until we can't get this wrong. I love this. This has been one of the coolest things this month. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm excited. What's our topic for next time?
Next week's management support, mate. So it's all about stakeholder management.
I love this. Well, I'm excited to post this on the YouTube channel and the podcast. Beanie, you're awesome. Real quick, I know if you're anything like me, it can get lonely providing all this content. I want you to know I see it every day. I watch it. It's making a difference. It's absolutely amazing. So you have our support all the way over here. I think we're on the west side of the world. But anyway, so great job with everything, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. So appreciate this. Awesome. It's been great.
Thank you very much, mate. Always appreciate feedback. Okay. Speak soon.
See you.